Okay, let's go to the trip sheet creating part and how to print that LR copy and how to update the expenses or purchases against that trip and how to generate the sales invoice against the trip. So everything, let's see now. Go to the transport and here you can find that booking. So booking is nothing but a trip sheet and create a new trip sheet, or we need to open a old trip sheet to update something or to get some data from that. You can use search. So I'm just opening the already created trip sheet here, and this is the trip sheet creation page, which is called a booking page. So here shipment type transport booking system will defaultly set here, and here you can find that booking number and date. So that also system will generate it automatically. If you are having any trip sheet sequence number, preferably with the prefix and suffix, the prefix with the company name and suffix with the financial year, so that can also be a configurable only, no issue. And here we can to mention that booking party. So against this trip, to whom you are going to generate your sales invoice. So that is a booking party. You can mention your bill to party name here and select your mode type. So whether it's a domestic operation or domestic operation, but it is an export cargo or import cargo. So you can select those. So if you select that import or export, based on that trip type and the movement type will predefined by system. For example, for import, if you are selecting an import means, so that movement type and trip type system will show from that port to CFS, CFS to warehouse, or port to CFS, or CFS to warehouse. So like that system will show in you. And based on that, you can predefine your movement type, which is a containerized cargo or loose cargo, like that. So import vice versa, it will show in there. For domestic, there is no like that plot and everything, details, CFS, warehouse details, everything. So it will be a general thing. So you can enter the from and to here and movement type either this is a containerized cargo or loose cargo, counter everything you can select here. And who is the sender? You can enter the sender name here and sender address, a receiver name here, receiver address, and sender name, sender address, this booking party. You no need to create each and every time. You no need to enter those details. So here we are having some options for a company master. In company master itself, you can add your customers and vendors also as well as. So based on that, if you type a first three letters, means it will auto populate from the master and listed it down. So you can just select, it will automatically fetch remaining data from the company master itself. So here you can enter the trip sheet date, and this is an additional reference number. If you are having any internal reference number with that particular trip for the customer and you means you can enter your reference number here. And in case if you are handling that clearance related cargo means you can enter that available shipping bill number or bill of material number, you can enter here and date, BL details, everything. So otherwise there is no mandatory. So those is generally it's not a mandatory. If you record, you can enter here. And here you can mention your sales executive name. So against this trip, who is the salesperson taken this trip? So we need to know, and the management also know. So based on the sales executive, they can generate a report. So for that particular duration, either a 1 month or 1 week, 1 year. So how much trip is generated for that sales executive and how much revenue company got? So they can easily able to track that. And against the trip, who is handling the customer services activities like documentation, coordination, or trip updations, everything, you can mention the customer care name also here. So based on the customer care name also, you can pull a report. And here is the option for a third party. In case of third party billing, if you need means you just select a third party. And here are the options for a multiple transport and multiple transshipment. So multiple transport, which means so there is only one consignment, but we are operating a multiple vehicles. So maybe at the because there is some consignment, a single consignment with one customer, and we need to put a 20 feet container, close the container. But unfortunately, there is no availability of 20 feet container. So instead of that, we are having that double tier 407 double tier. So you can able to operate that way also. Or in practically some of the case, it will comes in the multiple vehicles. So which means there will be a one trip, but two vehicles were operated. So we need to capture those details. So in that case, you just select this multiple transport. System will show you instead of this, you can add the vehicle. So first you need to add first vehicle and you need to enter the first vehicle details like what is the first vehicle number and the driver and what is the goods carrying in that, how much invoices and how much packages, Dell or copy in case of e-way bills, so everything you can enter for the particular vehicle. And again, you need to add the second vehicle and update those details in second vehicle details also. So we are supporting for multiple transport also. So there is a single transport for that single consignment. So no need to confuse about that multiple transport and multiple transshipment everything. You just key in your data here. So here you can select here are the so many tabs and let me explain about that main tab. So here you find the trip details. So here is the vehicle ownership. So against the trip you can select your vehicle ownership. Either you are operating your own vehicle or subcontracted vehicle or customer itself arranged. So if you select a internal means, so driver name will automatically fetch from that master itself. So you can select all the drivers from your master. If you select the driver name, driver mobile number will automatically fetch here. And here your vehicles, all the vehicles which is created in master, it will listed here. So if you click, if you selected as a subcontractor vehicle or customer arrange, all the fields are text fields. So you need to enter them manually. Driver name, driver mobile number, vehicle number, everything. So in case of our own vehicle we are using means the driver name and the vehicle number will automatically load up on the master. You can select the appropriate driver name. Based on the driver name, mobile number will automatically set by the system and you can select the vehicle number also. So once you selected the vehicle number in this trip, system what will do in intelligently, based on this vehicle, it will check all the trips were already created. If the vehicle is linked with any other trip means, after that it will check whether the trip get ended or not. So if any trip is not ended, system will alert you here itself. So against this vehicle, these trips are entered and these trips are not closed. Please close the trip and proceed for this trip. System will alert you. If you click yes, means system will close that instead of you and you can proceed here. Either you can do it manually also. So based on the vehicle selection, vehicle type also automatically fetch from the master. And here you can mention your movement type, whether you are operating the containerized cargo or loose cargo, everything. And based on this, for that freight related, clearance related activities, the trip type will be loaded here. So this is the domestic movement I'm just showing. So for the domestic movement, there is no trip type. It's a default trip type only. So here you can mention the exact trip started date and time and the loading point, unloading point and the trip end. So based on the trip start and end, it will show you the duration. If you want the hours in duration means you select the hours. If you want a days means you can select a day. So based on the selection, system will show how much hours the trip gone and how much day the trip gone, everything. So here you can mention that start odometer reading while the trip is started and after end you can input the day end read meeting. So based on the trip distance, system will automatically show you here. So here you can mention that with load and without load also. So assuming your vehicle is parked in the parking lot, uh, you need to go and pick up some cargo for the trip start means. So the parking and the cargo origin point have the 10 kilometers or 5, 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, so everything. So the same ways after delivering the cargo, so in case the vehicle will came back to the same place, or else there we have any local agent to operate some other operations, or we are having some parking lot there itself. So after that it will go there. So those duration, the cargo will be not present in the container, so in that vehicle. So the vehicle will operate emptily for that parking to pick up after delivery to parking. So that kilometers, if you want to capture means you can enter it. So based on that, it will show automatically how much kilometers the movement is gone with the load and without load. So if you have the question, so why we need to capture those things means in generally vehicle mileage will be calculated based on the trip weight only. So assuming there is a 515 kilometers with load and there is a 4 kilometers without load. So assuming there is a long trip or that without load kilometers for 20 kilometers or 15 kilometers like that means, so it will consumption of that fuel. So with load mileage and without load mileage will be differ. So if you want to crash it, that means you can put it here. So otherwise, those are not mandatory field. You can just enter those things here. And here you can mention the trip from and trip to also additional. So loading point and unloading point is a general thing, and trip from trip to is a overall thing. So loading point and unloading point, you capture that exact place name, like the company name or factory name, like that. Trip from trip to is a city name. So either your choice. No need to capture loading point, unloading point, and trip from trip to everything here. So based on your output, you can key in the data. So here is the consignment details and how much package we are carrying and what is the graph weight of that and what is the net weight of that and what is the goods description. And in case if you want to capture the goods value, you can enter here. And against the carrying goods having invoice and invoice details, we need to capture. You can capture here itself. So if the goods is insured, you can select the insurance details also here. And here are the additional details. So that invoice value is more than 50,000 means you need the DEVable details, everything. So you can enter the DEVable details here. And in case we are operating that vehicles with that seal type, like a tag like a seal or bottle seal like that. So if you want to capture the seal number, everything, so you can mention here. And here is the option to generate the LR. So LR number you can generate it manually, and the system also able to generate here. And to select that LR date. So those two are for that output case, printout only. So no need to worry about the ref type and the format. So assuming if you are having two formats or you are using LR copy in some other formats, means we will support for multiple LR copies also. So that is the purpose for LR reference type and print format. And here you can mention that POD mandatory details. So why the POD mandatory details is capturing here means, so this is mainly for the selling invoice purpose. So all the customers are not needed POD at the time of billing, but few of the key customers will have, while submitting the sales invoice, we need to attach that LR copy along with the sales invoice. So then only the sales will get processed for the accounts team. After that only they will release the payment. So if you pre-defined here means you can filter it easily. So against that 100 plus trips and how many trips we need to capture that POD and how much are not required. So not record case is not bothering about that, but record the case is main thing to generate the sales invoice. Because without POD details, you can't able to submit that sales invoice. Once you submit it, then only you can get the payment. So that's why we are putting that option here. And you just click that LR preview and the print. So print is a finalized and the preview is before finalizing the LR, you can select a preview button also. And this is on LR copy format. If you are having your own LR copy format means no issue, that can be configurable. So here the goods and service tax payable details, everything, insurance details. So here the LR number will be printed here. In consignment note, in case if you put the e-waybill number, it will appear here, vehicle number here, caution, so delivery from to everything here, and that nature of goods. So what are the details you captured in the trip details? If, what are the details you need to show in LR copy? We will capture from the trip and show it here. So this is one standard LR copy. If it is okay with you, no issue. If you are having your own format, we will configure the same. So generally here it will appear the company logo and company address, everything here. So in this case, if you click that multiple transport means we need to enter those details again. So there is no much difference. So by clicking add, you can add another vehicle. But the multiple transshipment is a different case. So what is this means? The trip is single trip. The vehicle is operated in a single vehicle, but the consignment contains a multiple customers consignment. So the main example is a lineal vehicle. So assuming you are having a standard operations plan for morning and evening trip from Chennai to Salem or Chennai to Bangalore or Chennai to Mumbai or Delhi. So if you're having that your pre-planned trips that is on regular basis, either here to there or there to here, and in that case, there will be carried a multiple customers cargo, and there is a multiple pickup point and multiple drop point also. So if you click that multiple transshipment means, so here you can find one additional tab called the transshipment. If you just click the transshipment, you can add here your pickup and drop point everything. So the trip is starting from Chennai and the end is Coimbatore. In case in between Coimbatore, so after Chennai we are picking some load from Chengalpet, or if we are dropping some load or cargo in Chengalpet means you can type the Chengalpet here, and how much quantity if you are picked. If you are not picked anything means you just put zero, and how much quantity you dropped there and you enter the quantity, drop the quantity here and save. Again add. So the Chengalpet will, after Chengalpet, where is the breaking point in case Dindivanam or Vilupuram, Madurai, so whatever it is, a Salem, anything. So you can enter this and how much pickup and how much drop it will be. That system will shown here, and it will tally and show the total is here. So how much pickup is here and how much drop is here. Okay, so next here is I will explain the rate tab later. Next here you can find that attachment tabs here. So against this trip, what are the documents you are maintaining right now in physically? You can maintain those things in cloud. So you can track and take the documents easily. So example LR copy or invoice copy or cargo loading picture, unloading picture, or after loading that vehicle, after loading that vehicle picture. In case if you are putting a bottle seal, so along with that bottle seal, you can take a picture. So you can add anything here. And if you are operating the container based, the trailer movement means you can capture the container number and where the container is picked up, and the package details, how much package is there in case of steel details. And in case if you are putting the fumigation survey details, anything means you can capture here. So, for example, one trailer having two 20 feet containers or a single 40 feet containers. So, single 40 feet container, obviously there is no question. You can just open the add container and you select the container type as a 40 and enter all the things. So, if against one trailer, there will be a multiple containers like 2 into 20 means. First, you enter the first 20 feet container details here, container number, and in that container, what are the packages and weight details, everything. And for that containers, you can enter the seal type here. And for that container, survey and fumigation details, you can enter here. So after that, by clicking add, you can add the second container details. So we are supporting multiple cases. Here you can find that history tab. So this is nothing but this is a cloud-based ERP system. So in our office, there is a multiple persons handling that operations. Means so who created that trip, who updated the trip, and who attached that LR copy, and who deleted that LR copy, and who generated the LR copy, and who generated the sales investment, who put that voucher cash expense. So that in between actions, everything will captured by the system and it will be listed in the history. So here you can find the booking is created as a Kavya, and you can get the confirmed by Kavya and everything. But after that, Arun Kumar user will updated the booking and transport rate will be updated by Arun Kumar user. So you can internally follow up here. So who are all accessing this booking and what are the activities they are doing, the main data will be captured and listed here itself. So now let's show you that rate tab. So under the rate, you can find that selling and purchase. So in purchase, you can find that purchase and voucher. So the trip is get completed or trip is in process. Assuming if you are operating some outsourcing transport means, so you will have that purchase invoice from the transporter. So in that case, you can add that purchase invoice details here. So click add and enter your buying bill type, invoice number, purchase invoice number, invoice date and payable to everything and what is the amount. And here you can attach your purchase invoice also. So it is very easy to approve that admin person's accounts admin or operation admin. So enter the purchase invoices is right or not. So after verifying, it may process to the intent and the payment, and after that, the account what will be accounts team will take over. So if you are having any cash expenses against the trip, you can enter here. So you can enter the vehicle number, or if you are, want to book that expenses against the vehicle number, you select the vehicle number. Or else against the trip point you want to capture means you no need to select the vehicle number, you just proceed everything. So voucher date and voucher reference number and select the person and which person we paid that amount. And for towards for this trip against I paid the salary to this person this much of amount. Or for handling charges, loading, unloading, or in case of any puncture or incidental expenses against the trip. So what are the expenses we are doing in hand cash carry? We can enter all the details in voucher. So after enter this, one operational admin or accounts admin. So based on your operations activities, we will provide that user based configurations. So who need to verify or approve that voucher and who need to verify, authorize and approve that sales invoice details and who need to release. So everything will based on your operationals and accounts activities and which person need which access, we will configure those things in dynamically. So after verifying everything, accounts team will pay the payment against this. So mainly if we are adding that one transporter means there is no purchases. So everything comes under voucher only. So if we are hiring some vehicle from some other vendor and we are operating that means in that case we have the purchase invoice against that a trip we will get the purchase invoice from the vendor. In that case we can enter that purchase invoice details here. And here is the selling tab. So here you can found three options. So the ad is by click ad, you can add your rates by manually. Example, what are the rates you want to show in the sales invoice and share it to the customer, like handling charges or unloading, loading charges or transportation charges and miscellaneous charges. So whatever it we need by just clicking add, if you click add, it will already listed in the charge type master. You just select it and enter the amount and you can save. And some other options also be there. So here are the get rate from contract and get rate from quotation. So assuming if you are handling a number of customers, few of the customers we are having some contracts. For example, the Chennai to Salem. So this is the fixed cost for that customer only. Or from the duration, space and the distance. So if we are operating some customers for that contract rate also means we are having the contract model also and you can select your customer name there and contract validity from and to and from place to place. Based on your operations, you can enter the contract details there. So once the contract created means obviously for that particular period, that is the sales invoice rate. There is no changes. So there is no changes means there is the base rate is come from there only. So might be any incidental additional expenses or amendment will be there. That will be handled in the case to case, but that is the base. So we already created a contract. From between that contract period, we no need to add every sales rates against the trip each and every cases. You just click the generate get rate from contract. System will automatically fetch the rate from the contract and set it here. In case that rate have some changes in that particular trip means you can amend here also. That will not affect in a contract. So that is the easier way to capture the rates and generate a sales invoice. You no need to add again and again. So before adding the sales invoice rate, you need to refer that contract only. So each and every trip every trip you need to refer that contract and this is the rate and this is the rate. So after that you type that rate. So it will the cost of time only. To reduce the time to easily process the sales invoice, you can use that contract model if you are having that contract. So, or else if you are doesn't having any model based on that contract means you can able to generate the quotation also to the customer. So before that trip, if you get the inquiry from your customer, you can share the quotation. So that also we are supporting. So if you've already created the quotation in our cloud ERP. So you just click the get rate from quotation. System will automatically capture the rate from the quotation for this trip and this customer and set it here. If there is any changes and need to add some line item, so unexpectedly some additional expenses will be there. You put it a mail and get the confirmation for the customer, or over the phone you get the confirmation. So you can add it here or you can modify here. So that will also not affected in the quotation. So these are an easy way to generate the sales invoice. So after entering all the sales invoice details, update and click create bill, system will automatically route to the billing screen. So this is the bill screen. And here bill from and bill from address. So bill from is obviously our company name. Company name and address system will automatically default here. You no need to select each and every time. And here you can select your bill to party. So we already predefined in booking party name trip creation itself. So you can select that booking party name here. So if you want to, some cases the sender or receiver and booking party both, all the points are different. We need to generate the sales invoice for the sender or receiver or some other party. You just click the third party there and select the booking bill to party name here. And based on your current operations and accounts activities, what are the bill types are you are using? The bill types will be loaded here, and based on the bill type, sequence numbers also configured here. So you can select your appropriate bill type like a transport invoice or service invoice. So whatever its name you call that, credit note, debit note. So everything will be listed here. You can just select your bill type here, and the bill rates will be listed here. You just move down it, and after save, it will be initially it will be in draft stage only. So once the user enters those details and save the sales invoice details here, after that one person need to verify the entered detail is right or not. After verifying, one person need to authorize those things are correct. So after authorize only you can able to click the print button. So before print button click, the sales invoice number will not be generated and allocated by the system. So once you click the print, you can able to visible the printout also in there, and after that only bill number will get generated. So this is on sample bill format. So we are having a multiple format also. If you are having your own format, we can configure those things also here. There is no issue. And in billing, what you have some other options also here. So example, I already said while creating a trip sheet, there will be that multiple transport concept and multiple transshipment concept also. So multiple transport case. So let me explain about the multiple transport case. So multiple transport case again. So there is one customer, one consignment, and we operated a two vehicles. So for the two vehicles, there will be a rate difference. So if you want to generate an invoice based on the vehicles, so system will support you. So here it will be listed here. So in this case, I used only one vehicle. If you are using multiple vehicles, the system will list over here. So for this vehicle, this is the sales invoice, and this vehicle, this is the sales. So you can be able to generate the sales invoice against that vehicle also. So in case of transshipment, transport details will be one, but customer details will be different. So in that case, we need to generate for single trip sheet multiple customer sales invoice. So that can also be supported by system. So in the bill to party, you can select your first bill to party and enter the sales invoice detail and take a print. And after that bill to party, you need to select a second bill to party. So like that way, you can able to generate it. So not only vehicle number based, if you are having the trailer fleet movement, if you want to generate your sales invoice based on the container number also, we can support. So here we used only that vehicle number, so that's why it's listed here. If I use the trailer-based plate and I enter the container details there means, so system will list out here. So you can generate your invoice based on that transport or based on that container or based on that customer. So how you want to generate the sales invoice, system will support you in all the aspects. Okay. So now we said everything and let me show you one thing. So here is the P&L. In the trip sheet itself, you can find the P&L tab. So if you click that P&L tab, so system will show you against the trip what are the vouchers, the purchases you entered, and what are the sales details you entered. So it will subtract both the thing and show you the profit of the trip here. So you can take the print also here by clicking the PDF. System will take your print and show you. So what is the profit and loss? So those details will be shown while verifying the sales invoice also. So verify authorized and then only you can able to print it. So at the time of verify authorized also you can found that button P&L. You just click that P&L means against the trip what are the cash expenses and what are the direct purchases are involved there and what are the sales invoice amount be entered and what is the profit and loss. So after that that person can approve that invoice. So which is good and fine to proceed. So you can proceed that. And one main thing is, so this is a cloud-based ERP system. So it will support multiple models and not only alone, it will interlink with each and every activity. So let, however, we see about the transport model. So it will not only support to the transport model, assuming if you are handling some courier activity. So you are having some tie-up with some other courier vendors and you are doing some courier business. And for that courier activities, pickup and delivery, everything, you are not putting any other vendors and you are having your own transport mix. So you can use the courier model and transport model also in our ERP itself. So what are the couriers are coming and what are the couriers are getting delivered and the delivery couriers are handled by which vehicles. So you can entirely you can track it. So it is not only purely for a transport. If you are doing a transport along with the courier, system will support. If you are doing a transport along with the freight forwarding or clearance activity, system will support. So beyond that, if you are doing a warehouse related activities and you are having the own transport, system will support. So everything will be provision will be there. So that's why you see those all the models will be there. So based on your activities and business activities, we will configure that menu dynamically. So if you want a transport and courier, both means we will configure transport and courier. So if you want only transport, we will configure only transport. So if you want a courier and a transport warehouse, everything, so everything will be configured here.